Okay, let's dive right into this. There's a quiet revolution happening in modern warfare, one that's playing out mostly behind the scenes. It's this massive shift away from soldiers and steel to algorithms and data. And honestly, it's changing the very definition of what conflict even is.
You know, for centuries, the speed of war was always dictated by human limits. How fast a commander could think, how quickly a soldier could react. But what happens when those limits just vanish? That's the question we're facing right now.
Because the modern battlefield is just, well, it's drowning in data. We're talking about a constant, overwhelming flood of information coming from everywhere. Satellites, sensors, drones, you name it. It's a level of cognitive overload that no human team could ever hope to process effectively.
And because of that data flood, trying to analyze everything with just human brains has become dangerously slow. It's a huge problem. So what's the solution military planners are racing towards? You guessed it, artificial intelligence.
This one solution has pushed us into a totally new era. It's not just faster, it's fundamentally different. This is the era of war at machine speed, where things can happen at a pace that's almost impossible to comprehend.
If you want a good analogy, think about high-speed trading on Wall Street. You've got algorithms making huge buy or sell decisions in microseconds, right? Well, that same logic is now being applied to conflict. Only now, those microseconds can mean the difference between life and death.
So what does this AI-powered solution actually look like on the ground? Now, if you're picturing killer robots out of a movie, that's not quite it. The reality is actually a lot more subtle, and in many ways, way more revolutionary.
So militaries have this process they follow called the kill chain. It's basically a step-by-step method for engaging a target, and this is where AI is having its biggest impact. It's being plugged in to accelerate every single step of this process.
Let's just take that first step. Find. A team of human analysts might take days, literally days, to sift through thousands of hours of drone footage just to find a single enemy tank. An AI using computer vision, it can scan all of that same footage and pinpoint the tank's exact coordinates in a millisecond. Days versus a millisecond. That's the game changer.
And I really have to stress, this isn't science fiction. This stuff is already out there. We're seeing AI systems that have reportedly generated target lists with tens of thousands of names in Gaza. In Ukraine, we've seen autonomous fire-and-forget kamikaze drones. In Nagorno-Karabakh, we've seen loitering munitions, drones that just circle a battlefield waiting for the right moment to strike. And even systems like Israel's Iron Dome have used automation for years to intercept rockets at superhuman speed.
But all this speed, all this incredible efficiency, it creates a profound new problem, one that technology can't solve, and that's the human dilemma. This is where we step into a massive ethical minefield.
This is the heart of the whole debate. Are we really okay with handing a life-or-death decision over to an algorithm? I mean, think about it. If an autonomous weapon makes a mistake and hits a civilian target, who's responsible? The programmer? The commander? The machine itself? This is what experts call the accountability gap, and it's a huge problem.
Now, you might be thinking, oh, just keep a human in the loop. But it's not that simple because of a psychological trap called automation bias. It's like when your GPS tells you to make a turn that looks wrong, but you do it anyway because, hey, the machine knows best, right? Now imagine that, but you're a commander under the immense pressure of combat. You're probably just going to trust the machine, essentially rubber stamping its decisions.
And this is where a story from history gets really chilling. Back in 1983, a Soviet officer named Stanislav Petrov saw his early warning system go haywire, claiming the U.S. had launched nuclear missiles. Protocol demanded he launch an immediate counterstrike. But Petrov, he had a gut feeling it was a mistake. He defied the machine, trusted his human intuition, and single-handedly prevented a potential nuclear war. And you have to ask yourself, could an algorithm do that?
So this dilemma isn't just an ethical debate, it's existential. And the fear of being the one left behind, well, that fear is fueling a completely new kind of global arms race. One that isn't fought with warheads, but with code.
The amount of money pouring into military AI is just staggering. The market is projected to more than triple in just 5 years. This isn't just gradual development, it's an explosive, frantic investment in achieving AI superiority.
And what's really different about this arms race is that it's not just between superpowers like the US and China. There's a high-stakes power struggle happening between governments and the private tech companies that are actually building these incredibly powerful AI models.
And this came to a head in a really dramatic public way. The Pentagon was using an AI from a company called Anthropic, which had set strict ethical lines on its use. When the Pentagon pushed to remove those lines and talks broke down, they allegedly gave the company an ultimatum. Anthropic refused. And what happened the very next day? Their main competitor, OpenAI, swooped in and announced its own deal with the Pentagon.
This quote really gets to the heart of the Pentagon's anxiety. For the first time, a private company was trying to tell them what they could and couldn't do. This whole episode revealed this critical tension of our time. Who really gets to set the rules of war in the 21st century? Is it the generals or is it the programmers?
All of this brings us to this critical inflection point. Some experts are even calling it our generation's Oppenheimer moment. Just like the dawn of the atomic age, we've built something that forces us to confront these fundamental questions about our own humanity.
And there are experts pushing back hard against the idea that any of this is inevitable. They're arguing that we still have choices here. We can design systems and international laws that make sure we prioritize human dignity and meaningful human control. So the crucial point is this. We are building machines that can make the decision to kill, but we haven't even begun to solve the profound ethical and legal problems they create. The race for AI superiority is on, for sure, but the greatest challenge we're facing is no longer technological, it's about us.